Hey everybody, the Rev here. It's time for a cup of coffee with Jesus. I hope you're well. God bless you. Folgers coffee, not the worst, but definitely not the best. Okay, Proverbs 12:10. A righteous man has regard for the life of his animals, but even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. Okay, the Lord gave me that this morning because it was real busy this morning. We got cold weather coming in. It's supposed to be some really bad storms. Who knows? It's Oklahoma. It can change in 15 minutes. But I was like moving hay bales, and I went to the feed store, and I got some alfalfa, some feed, some hay bales, some straw. My wife's helping me out there, putting straw in for the baby goats and the chickens and just everything, right? Just everything. Just trying to make things secure, so because we have animals to care for. We live out on a few acres, and we have horses and llamas and chickens and goats, and oh my! So I was like, it wasn't like an extreme amount of work, but it was considerable work today, and it was drizzly and just overcast and nasty, and it's muddy, and I didn't have this verse kept going through my mind. A righteous man, I think it's in the King James, cares for his animals. And what got me today was I was just like, I didn't have a sense of I needed to complain or because I ended up working afternoon shift today, so I was in a time crunch to get all this stuff done before I came into work this afternoon. But my point is that I didn't have it like, oh, this is such a burden, because it's like that's the job of a righteous man, is to care for his animals. But I really started pondering about this. But even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. And I was like, Lord, what do you mean that the compassion of the wicked is cruel? What that means is that they just give you worldly advice. And it might be just like, if you're having trouble with your spouse, that you go to somebody that's in the world and they're like, oh yeah, you just ought to leave her. Instead of going to a righteous man that cares for his animals and understands from a different standpoint. He's like, you do whatever you need to do and you keep the peace. You make the peace. You make things peaceable. Not like you dance, you tap. It's not like you need to tiptoe around or tap dance around. But it's like you, as the head of the house and a man, you have abilities to make things peaceable and not continue to fight. You can do that. You don't go to, it's like if you're struggling with substance abuse or something, if you go to somebody in the world and they're going to say, oh, you having a few drinks and stuff, that's no big deal. But a righteous man that cares for his animals, he's going to give you the truth, and he's not going to give you compassion that's cruel to you, that keeps you in your same place. See the difference? The Lord was just like one by one, just feeding them through my mind, that the world will give you an answer that's all about your flesh. All about your flesh. And a godly man that careth for his animals is just like the Lord that cares for you. And it might not be things that you really want to hear, but it's for your best interest in the long run. A righteous man has regard for the life of his animals. If a righteous man has regards for the life of his animals, how much more does the Lord, the righteous man, have a regard for you? Plain and simple. But even the compassion of the wicked is cruel. The wicked, just giving you worldly advice, not godly advice. Just something to think about today. And if you're in Oklahoma, batten down the hatches, because everything I'm reading is supposed to be bad. And I just pray that your pipes don't freeze and that your animals are taken care of. In the mighty name of Jesus. Because he loves you, I love you, absolutely nothing you can do about it. Have a great day. Thinking about worldly compassion versus the righteous one taking care of you. See you soon. Goodbye.